But site rep, he and Jim Jackson, who's head of the umpires here, they did such an unbelievable job of the umpires. He told me what a fine crew we had. We had a meeting, what a great job they did. Keeping the game the way it should be, and they did a great job. And so with all that said, I'd like to say, so proud of this ball club. Everything I've thought about all year, not that it ever gets old, going to Omaha. Yes, I want to go again. Yes, I want to eat at the Drover restaurant. There's a lot of things. I've kept that menu up for the last probably 3 weeks. And but I wanted these guys to go so bad. Some of them's last chances, Amac's last chances, Logan Whitaker's last chance, Noah Soul, Sam Highfield, the list goes on and on and on. And for the guys that could sign, you know what I'm saying, it's their last shot. And there's nothing like walking on that field in Omaha, Nebraska for the ceremony, which we missed in 21 walking out there because of COVID. And can't wait to see those guys do that. And they've been so unbelievable the last 10 weeks of the season. Ever since we went to Clemson, they've been as good a team as you can be. They do things the right way. They play hard. They run hard all the time. And they do things the way they're supposed to do it on and off the field. I haven't had a curfew here, and I don't think JT said like twice, and he played for me. He said he had one in his 4 years here, but I haven't had a curfew in like 10 years. You recruit men, you trust them, they trust you back, and you try to build something. And if you got the right people, that silly stuff like that doesn't even need to come in place. So just really proud of this team.
Okay, we'll take questions. Please raise your hand. Start here.
Look at Logan and then Sam Highfield started this series. When you think about the old heads, Valvano, K-Yow and such, and their messages and strength and fighting, do you believe that they fit that message? Do you feel like they're the type of people that K-Yow and Jim Valvano were talking about?
Actually, I said that when they interviewed me after the game. If you go back and you'll watch the game over, I'm sure if they have that last game interview, the last interview there, I told Ben McDonald and Tom Hart, who unbelievable by the way, they covered our Pac-13 game and had no idea what was going on in that game. Nobody told them. So they were unbelievable. I can't wait to hear their broadcast. Such good people. And but I told them, you know, my whole life I've just been fortunate. People have taken me in, from Tony Guzzo giving me my first job, to Russ Frazier giving me a lot of responsibility at Lewisburg Junior College, to Ray Tanner hired me at NC State as an assistant his first year as head coach, to Coach Esposito, who we all owe a world of gratitude to, George Tarantini, you mentioned K-Yow, and Jim Valvano. I had the good fortune to be around all those people a lot. And I said it on the broadcast after the game. Coach V's words of "Don't give up, don't ever give up." It resonates with every player that's been here. It is our theme song. It's what NC State's, who we are. And Trey Turner, he and his wife started a fund this year for childhood cancer, which I hope to grow throughout the country. I'm going to talk to Wes here about having a game next year here in Georgia, and I hope to grow that throughout the country, as Coach Al did with Play for K. But Trey started a fund, and he runs it through the Jimmy V Foundation, because the influence of Jimmy V, even when he and his wife Kristen were at NC State, had a great influence. So yeah, those words resonate, and the people that I've been around at NC State and other places have just forged, along with the upbringing I had from Mama and Daddy, it forged things in me that I try to get across to these players, and I think they've accepted it well, and I think that's who we are.
The three players, you know, what does this mean to get the program back to Omaha for the second time in the last 4 years?
Been here the longest.
Yeah, I got it. It's a surreal experience, like I mentioned in the regionals, and coming out of that, it's something that we'll take the rest of our lives, and you know, we take it in stride because we know it's part of a bigger process, and it's just one step in the right direction for us to keep building on.
Want me to go? You know?
You go age back down.
Yeah,
The youngest.
yeah.
You know, just all the fall, all the work we put in, every year in college. You know, it's paid off. I think everything happens for a reason. I think we got a lot of guys that trust their gut, and we just listen to these coaches, and the younger guys listen to them, and it just all takes over.
I think the biggest thing is like you see. I mean, from being a kid, like this is all I kind of watched. Like, hey, it's going to the College World Series, it's playing in Omaha, and you know I saw the 21 team do it the year before I got here. So then it's like, hey, I got a little taste of a regional last year, and it didn't go as we thought it would. And now it's like, I think this is a team that can do it, and we believed in that. And as a team, we just kind of kept pushing, kept being resilient through, I mean, each and every game, everything that's happened to us. I mean, we have guys who went down throughout the year, and it was almost like it was playing for them, it's playing for those older guys who don't get another chance. It's playing for everyone who believed in us, and I think we kind of took that and went with it.
Logan, talk about Jimmy V and the whole never give up slogan. That's got to be a little bit extra special to you. What has it been like throughout your last few seasons, especially tonight, getting the starting game with Reed, finally getting the punch that ticket to Omaha, and now you're able to take a part in the game this time around?
Yeah, no, it's a great experience, man. And one thing I'll touch on is when the 21 team went to Omaha, I was in the cast for the second time in 3 years. So watching them go, it kind of lit a fire under me where it was like I want to get back to that, and then watching them get snubbed like that even, ignited it a little bit more, and that kind of carried for the past, the 2 seasons that I was able to come back and play. The first year we got snubbed and getting selected that year, and then the second year we went to South Carolina, played a really good South Carolina team, and didn't make it out of that regional. And this year I like the feeling in the fall was, well, we got some special stuff. And it's not just the guys returning, it was the guys that came in and meshed well with us, the freshmen, the transfers, and it all goes back to, leading up to this moment. And we were all built for this moment tonight.
Coach, hey, I was going to ask you and then also Logan. First, what's the restaurant you're talking about in Omaha?
It's called the Drover. It might be the location, and I'm not a foodie.
Yeah.
That's Coach Hart. He's a food critic. He's that guy. I like all food, especially if it's Southern country food. But the Drover,
Okay.
it's not just the location. I know the location has something to do with it, but I think that restaurant can be anywhere. It's the finest restaurant I've ever eaten at, and I've always promised the guys. That's what I tell them. We're going to the Drover's first thing we're going to do. And so Sally's been calling, trying to get in because everybody wants to go there. And I've had the menu. It stays in my office, but I put it up on the locker room for like the last probably 3 weeks or so.
Whiskey Red Eye.
The real questions for you and Logan. I think Charlie Cotton had 2 hits this weekend or the series. What was key to kind of minimizing him?
I don't think we minimize. You don't minimize Charlie Cotton. He's such a great player. And Coach Chrysler, our pitching coach, was on the USA team for a while last year with Charlie, and he said as great a player he is, he's even a better person. He just said you could tell the way he played the game, the way he went about his business. He's a professional. He's a pro, and yeah, we didn't minimize him at all. We did. I think we walked him intentionally one time, and we pitched way away from him a lot too. And he still found a way to smoke balls. That's a great player, and according to Coach Chrysler, a heck of a young man.
Logan, I was going to ask you if you can comment on that too.
I don't have a whole lot to comment because the dude's batting .440 going into this series, and over 30 home runs. Like he's the truth, And we came into this weekend knowing that, and the approach didn't change. It was, okay, this is the guy that we're going to try, not let beat us this weekend. And especially in the at-bats that he faced me, I definitely tried to live away from the plate more. If you can get him one time, you're not going to get him again. And I was fortunate enough tonight, and hats off to him because he sees everything. So it's kind of crazy to face somebody like that. But all good things to him and that ball club that lined him stout.
Eli, what's the play you remember most from this game that you were a part of?
I mean, obviously the final out's pretty big play, but I think the catch was pretty cool. Especially after the first. I mean, I said this, Mr. McDonald on the interview over there. The first one when Alfred hit it out right there too. Like I kind of just didn't. I ran to the wall, and it was like, well, now I just same thing again. And it was like, hey, this time let's see where walls a little bit and try to do it. But I mean, it was crazy. I don't even kind of blacked out honestly.
Did you feel like you had to make up after the first inning?
Yeah, I mean a little bit. Yeah, I mean you got to make every play you can. I mean, especially in that, like every out matters, every pitch matters. Like, and that was just our mindset, especially in the last kind of 3 innings. It was like, hey, what can we do? These are gonna be the hardest 9 outs of our life. What can we do to finish this game, and just give it your all, honestly.
Yeah, Coach, and maybe Alec here. Just you talked about the environment and everything. I just everybody wants to host a super, you know, for your own fans and all that. The odds are better, but surviving and advancing out of this environment, is that even more of a kick in the pants a little bit from the standpoint of you weathered all of everything they had?
I think for me, players grow from every experience they have, and you could play Georgia in Raleigh, North Carolina. You could play them at Myrtle Beach, and that's a heck of a team to beat. As I think Logan said, their lineup, I think it's over 150 home runs and they're hitting over 300. You got to show me another team in the country that's doing that. And then this is an offensive friendly ballpark as well. So, and like I said, the fans they're all Georgia now. They bark a lot. They're all Georgia. We got, what do we get in Arkansas? It's pig suey in Arkansas, and we got barked at here. And that's stuff you have to deal with as a player. And these guys are 18 to 22 years old.
Yeah.
And it's how they can focus through that. So, yes, it is more difficult to beat them here, but it'd be tough to beat Georgia. I don't care where you play them. That's a heck of a ball club.
Right in front.
Coach, you know, Logan has been through a lot. What was it like for you to be able to see him go out there and get 7 strikeouts and get you to the 5th?
Well, I've said this probably no less than 30 times in the last probably 2 years. But Logan Whitaker epitomizes what every person that ever puts on a uniform of any kind, whether you're playing tennis, whether you're playing golf, I don't care what sport you're playing, he epitomizes, and as far as that goes, every person in life. We all deal with trials and tribulations, and the saying they'll tell you, the saying that gets you the most is when it rains, it pours, because every time something goes against you, it's easy to get down. You think you're down in your luck, and, you know, always have a cloud over your shoulder, and next thing you know, something else goes wrong because you quit fighting, you quit persevering, as Jimmy V always talked about. And so he epitomizes, because I'm telling you, everybody but him said there's no way he's going to come back from the things that he had. So everybody said it can't happen. The only person that did was Logan Whitaker. And if a person's not going to quit on themselves, then there's no way you can quit on that person. And that's what he did. So to see him out there every time he's out there is special for me. But I did think about this morning. I said Logan Whitaker's going out there for the game that the last 2 teams are playing to decide who's going to Omaha. And that's pretty cool, I thought.
And then just to follow up, how big was it to get him to the 5th, where then you could bring in Jacob and Derek to kind of close it
I was
out?
hoping to get into the 6th, but anyway, getting to the 5th was big. I thought we needed one more, and in the 9th, I was kind of thinking that same thing. I actually thought Jacob Duden went out there, was unbelievable what he did with the bases loaded against Charlie and Alford. So that was unbelievable. But that expends a little energy. You can't imagine how that 18-year-old heart was racing probably, and then he had to get out another first or second thing, and I saw him kind of, you know, pump off the mound and dance off the mound a little bit, and I think he spent a little bit too much energy. So actually Derek went out there a little earlier than we want there, but he was composed enough and ready for that challenge to finish it, and so it worked out pretty good.
Got time for one more right here.
This is for the players. Just getting into the game itself, seems like y'all always had a response whenever there was a big moment. When Georgia went out first, Pennington had that 2-run shot to tie it up. Dogs are kind of clawing back in the latter innings. There's a home run from Serrano or Amac or Sosa, trying to give a little more insurance runs. Derek Smith pitching a career high 3 innings in this game with everything on the line. Just how important was that to say, every time the going gets tough, we have a response. We get able to get that extra step, kicking that extra gear.
I mean, the main thing that I heard while the game was going back and forth with the runs is just with the talk in the dugout. I mean, like the younger guys were telling older guys, like, let's go. Older guys were telling the younger guys, let's go. I mean, we needed every run and we knew it. We had guys calming each other down, it was just great to see. It was beautiful.
Yeah, on top of that, like all these, especially, I mean, people like Noah Souls is perfect. I mean, he has grinded out every game. I mean, he just had ankle surgery. He come back from that, and he's in there making sure every single person's locked in the game, making sure every single person's up in their energy. He's talking you back up if you're down, like anything that. I mean, he's honestly like he's one of the older guys, but he takes care of everyone. He makes sure everyone's on the same page. He's a great leader, and tonight he was exceptional. I mean, he not exceptional in the dugout. Like he was making sure everyone was there, locked in. And honestly, I think without that, this game might be different. And he kept us in there the whole time, really.
And I think from a pitching standpoint, you definitely feel the pressure of, hey, this is the last game. You go home and you move on, right? Coming into this game, I had a feeling that they would try to be more aggressive as well. And, you know, when you're feeling nerves like that, you try to take advantage of that. And our guys were the same way, but the one thing that Eli just mentioned was we had leadership in the dugout that was top notch when it came to our guys at the plate, being disciplined and taking their bats longer. And from a pitching standpoint, Jacob Kozar keeping me in the game and telling me, hey man, they're aggressive tonight, like use that to your advantage. You know, and that was just some of the big things was just the leadership up and down for sure.
All right, thank you.
Thank y'all.
Thank you guys.